And I think that this suggests another way of thinking about the city and art, that art needn't always be something existing in the city. The site of the show can be the people living in that city, and the theatre can be the relationship that those people have with the city. A new way of looking at the busyness and the noise of a city. A new way of being in that city from day to day amongst its steel structures and its crowded streets. And here, I think, then, the potential for what art can do and achieve in the city becomes almost limitless. And I'm going to give you some examples. The work of UK company Blast Theory examines the relationship between new digital technologies and the city. They use a variety of digital devices, GPS tracking, mobile phones, the internet. Their art asks its audience to reconsider their relationship to these everyday technologies and how they use them in the city. In Rider Spoke, individual Wi-Fi networks are repurposed to create a rich landscape of memories and stories of the city left for us by other participants. Thus, a technological innovation that conventionally dislocates us from the city around us is transformed, becomes a way of bringing us together and sharing understandings about the place that we inhabit. In Graham Miller's beautiful audio installation, Linked, you wander the area around the M11, which is a motorway built in East London in 1999, listening on headphones to fragments of recordings of the people who lived in this space before the road came. You hear about their lives and what this area of London used to be like before the road. Art becomes a way for the city and the people in that city to remember, a way to keep alive a trace of something that has physically disappeared. Although those houses are lost, we discover how to keep alive that place through shared stories and shared memories. And finally, another example, a show called Home Sweet Home, which is a performance installation. You get given your own flat pack house to decorate in any way you choose, and once finished, your house takes its place within a map of the city on the floor of the venue, complete with street lamps and big public buildings. And over the course of several days, this collection of houses becomes a living community, letters posted back and forth, and a radio station, and a town council. This is a playful writing over of the city in miniature form, which gives us the opportunity to rethink our relationship to the people around us. Now, collectively, I hope that these examples give you some sense of what I see as a new relationship between art and cities. A relationship not confined to or reliant upon expensive buildings. An art that doesn't hide away from the busyness of the city, but that acts as a means of reordering and reimagining the city. An art of strategies and behaviours, of ways of seeing and ways of doing. Each of these pieces offers some new way of engaging with the city. They are new ways of remembering, or new ways of looking, or new ways of communicating. If, as I said at the start, the city is a text written and rewritten constantly, then art such as this can be a new way for people to read that text, a different way of experiencing the city. For me, a city is not made up of buildings and roads, it's made up of people. Without the people, it's not a city, it's a ruin. People make the city. And so to change that city, it's not always necessary to knock things down and build them again. We can change the city by changing the way that people exist within it. In a time of financial hardship and environmental danger, art of this kind, I think, can be vital in showing us how to make the best use of what we already have. Artists can be city planners, architects, tour guides, mourners, builders, activists, map makers. And people working in all those professions should also think of themselves as potential artists. Art should be understood and supported as more than just a cultural recreation, not as something nice to put into the city, but as a vital way of thinking about what a city is and how it works better. I just want to finish by talking very briefly about a project that the company that I co-direct with another artist called Deborah Pearson, Forest Fringe. We're beginning a new project called the Forest Fringe Micro Festivals, and this is our attempt to be able to allow projects similar to the ones I described earlier to travel the country. Because although these projects are brilliant and wonderful and do give people a chance to see their city in a different light, often they remain in the major cultural areas, London's and your Tokyos and your New Yorks, because there isn't the infrastructure in place in smaller cities to be able to support that. And what we're trying to do with the micro festivals is to create a context or a form where those works can travel around and give people across the UK and across the world a chance to rethink their city and to see it hopefully in a totally different light. So thank you very much.